What's up, boys and girls? It's your boy Vox, and welcome to another Master Duel deck profile, and this time it's for the adventure A.B.C. Before we go into the deck profile, make sure to like and subscribe, and let me know in the comments down below of what you think about this. First, let's start with hand traps with triple Maxi, triple Ash, one Ibiru, the 2 Called by the Grave, and obviously with the 1 Crossout, the standard hand trap lineup, especially if you choose to run Crossout Designator into your deck. Running more hand traps doesn't hurt at all. Then let's start with the A.B.C monsters first. We're playing 2 A Assault Core. What it does, once per turn, you can either target one light machine monster you control, equip this card to the target, or unequip this card and special summon it. A monster equipped with this card is unaffected by your opponent's monster effects except its own. Also, if the equipped monster will be destroyed by battle or card effect, destroy this card instead. If this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can add one other unit monster from your graveyard into your hand. Then we're also running triple Master Drake. What it does, again, once per turn, you can either target one light machine monster you control, equip this card to the target, or unequip this card and special summon it. Basically, this is the effect that all the A.B.C monsters share. And then a monster equipped with this card, again, is unaffected by your opponent's spell effects this time. Also, if the equipped monster would be destroyed by a battle or card effect, you can destroy this card instead. And if Master Drake is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can add one unit monster from your deck into your hand, basically your searcher. And then lastly, for the A.B.C monsters, 2 Seacrest Wyvern. What it does, once per turn, you can either target one light machine monster you control, equip this card to the target, or unequip this card and special summon it. A monster equipped with this card is unaffected by your opponent's trap effects. Also, if the equipped monster will be destroyed by battle or card effect, destroy this card instead. If this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can special summon one unit monster from your hand. Basically, your Master Drake is your searcher, your A Assault Core is your recursion from the graveyard, and then your Seacrest Wyvern is your special summon from the hand. And the protection that they give when they're equipped to a monster, the Master Drake is making your the monster that is equipped to unaffected by spells. Seacrest Wyvern makes your monster equipped with it unaffected with traps, and same case for Assault Core, but that is for monsters. For the other unit monsters that we run into the deck is 1 unit driver. Before I go into what it does, some people choose to run this at 2 copies because you do not want to draw this. Again, that is not a mistake. If you choose to do that, you can absolutely do that, but I still choose to play this deck with 1 unit driver. What he does, once per turn, you can either target one face-up monster you control, equip this card to the target, or unequip this card and special summon it. If the equipped monster will be destroyed by battle or card effect, destroy this card instead. Basically the same effect that all the equipped monsters have for this deck currently. While this card is equipped to a monster, you can banish this equipped card, equip 1 level 4 or lower appropriate unit monster from your deck to that monster this card was equipped to. Basically, this card allows you to bypass the restriction of unit hanger, which basically doesn't allow you to special summon the monster that you chose to equip to the monster that you normally summoned. With unit driver, you don't give a fuck about that restriction, you just banish him, and then you would equip you would basically replace him to equip that monster that you have on the field with something else, and then you can special summon it, whether that would be any other of your A.B.C monster lineup or for your Torque Tune gear to go into your Crystal Fabrics line. So let's go straight into that. Basically, it's a level 1 tuner with the same effect again that all the equipped monsters have into this deck, and you basically have this so you can go into your Crystal Fabrics line. Then for the other engine that we have into the deck, it is the small Red Rose engine. The Red Rose engine first, what she does is, if this card is sent to the graveyard as a synchro material, you can special summon 1 Rose Dragon monster from your hand or deck except itself, and if it was sent for the synchro summon of 1 Black Rose Dragon or Black Synchro monster, you can also add 1 Frozen Rose or Blooming of the Dark Rose from your deck in your hand. Basically, the second effect is irrelevant. Why you have her into the deck is you will use her to go into a synchro line, and then when she goes to the graveyard, because she was used as a synchro material, she will special summon you the Rox Rose Dragon. What she does is, if this card is normal special summoned, you can add 1 card that mentions Black Rose Dragon from your deck into your hand except herself. Basically, you would use Red Rose Dragon as a material, then you would go into Rox Rose, and then with then they would special summon Rox Rose, and when Rox Rose is special summoned with the effect of Red Rose, you would get your Basil Rose Shoot, which is basically you can special summon 1 Rose Dragon monster from your hand or graveyard at the first position which is quite frankly a monster reborn for one of these two monsters, so you can go further into your plays and extend even more. Then for the last small engine before I go for the adventure is the Galaxy Soldier small package with the Photon Orbital. What Galaxy Soldier does is, it's a level 5, and what it does, you can send one other light monster from your hand to the graveyard, you can special summon this card from your hand in the fetch position. When this card is special summoned, you can add one Galaxy monster from your deck into your hand. Basically, you would use the effect of one Galaxy Soldier, discard one card from your hand, one light monster, which is one of your A.B.C pieces, to search the other Galaxy Soldiers you have into the deck, so you can go into your Cyber Dragon Nova, into your Infinity. And the reason that we have Photon Orbital is, what it does is, you can send this equipped card to the graveyard, add one Photon or Galaxy monster from your deck into your hand. Basically, the combo is that you would use two monsters that you have into the field to go into your Union Carrier. You would activate Union Carrier's effect into targeting himself, into attaching a Photon Orbital from the deck or hand into him, and then you would activate Photon Orbital's effect, you would send it to the graveyard to search your one of Galaxy Soldier, and then go from there basically. And because it's an adventure A.B.C deck, obviously we play the Adventure Engine with the 2 Water Enchantress, 2 Rite of Armagir, Wandering Griffo Rider, which is 1 copy, and then the 1 copy of Dragoback, and with the 1 copy of the Fateful Adventure. Now that we are done with the monster lineup, let's go straight into the spells. We're playing 1 Harpy Feather Duster because fuck Edlitz and fuck every single person that plays Stun or Floodgate into their decks. Unfortunately, we don't have many outs, except obviously Dragoback, but obviously it's incredible to have, in case, you know, you play second, you lose the coin toss, they play first, they play Stun deck, they play a back row deck, you draw your Harpy Feather Duster. If they can't really stop this, they're basically dead. Then we're playing 1 Monster Reborn. The reason that we play this is because we want to recur the 1 A.B.C Dragon Bastard that we have into the extra deck. Unfortunately, he is limited still. Come on, Konami, give it 2 at least. So that's why we play Monster Reborn. It is an easier way for us to recur the A.B.C Dragon Bastard other than using the standby phase effect from Barone. Then we play 1 Foolish Burial, which is most of the times a 3rd Water Enchantress, let's be real. But you can also use this to dump your Fairy Tale Snow, which I forgot to mention. And you could basically either dump your Water Enchantress, your Fairy Tale Snow, as I've said, or one of your A.B.C pieces that you might be missing for you to complete your A.B.C Dragon Bastard. Then we're playing 1 Terraforming because we want to search and go into our Union Hangar, which is basically the 1 card that allows us to go full combo. And what it does is, it's also a field spell, obviously, because we search with Terraforming. When this card is activated, you can add 1 Light Machine Union monster from your deck into your hand. Once per turn, if a Light Machine Union monster is normal special summoned to your field, you can target one of these monsters, equip 1 appropriate Light Machine Union monster with a different name from your deck to that monster, but that Union monster you equipped cannot be special summoned. That restriction holds true for everything except Union Driver, because with Union Driver, which is always the target that you want to go, when you activate the second effect of Union Hangar, is you would banish the Union Driver, and then you would special summon either one of your A.B.C pieces or your Torque Gear to go into your place. And then, unfortunately, with only 1 copy of Pot of Prosperity with a recent ban list, this got hit, so that meant that not only Flunderis basically got hurt and every other top deck that played it, but also the rogue decks, just like Adventure A.B.C currently. We're missing a lot of key pieces that are in the TCG but not in Master Duel still, but this deck can still work even with 1 Pot of Prosperity. And usually the targets that you would banish with Pot of Prosperity would be either one of your Desert Locust or your Shooting Riser Dragon, depending on what you have into your hand, and then either Baguska, if you have a decent hand and you can play it and you can go off, and then even 1 Underworld Goddess of the Closed World or Appaloosa. And then, as I've said, with the triple Union Hangar, 1 Crossout Designator, another target that got limited with a recent ban list. Then, obviously, with 1 Forbidden Droplet to break boards and also a crossout target. And then, lastly, triple Unauthorized Reactivation. What it does, it's also a quick play spell. Target 1 machine monster you control, equip 1 appropriate machine union monster from your hand or deck to that monster, but that union monster you equipped cannot be special summoned this turn. Basically, this is one of the ways that you can equip multiple, or different, I should say rather, A.B.C pieces that you might be missing, so you can go easier into your A.B.C Dragon Buster. And also, because it's a quick play, you can even set this, and then if you have your A.B.C. Dragonmaid on the field already, you can basically play reactively and see what your opponent plays. For example, let's say you're playing first, you're going to your full combo, and then when your opponent goes second, he's going to set 5 and pass. By that moment, when your turn comes by and you're going to make your first play and your opponent responds with a trap or whatever the fuck, then you can basically just respond with an unauthorized reactivation, target your A.B.C. Dragonmaid with Seagrass Wyvern basically, as you would make your A.B.C. Dragonmaid unaffected by traps. Same case for spells, you would equip your B-Bastard Drake, or the most standard, if it's for monster effects, you would equip your A Assault Core. Now that you are done with the main deck, let's go straight into the extra deck. First, with the only one copy, the lonely copy, A.B.C. Dragonmaid. He requires one of each of the 3 pieces for the ABCs, A Assault Core, 1 B-Bastard Drake, and 1 Seagrass Wyvern. Must be first special summoned from your extra deck by banishing the above cards you control and or from your graveyard. You do not use polymerization, obviously. And once per turn, quick effect, you can discard 1 card, then target 1 card on the field, you banish it. During your opponent's turn, quick effect, you can tribute this card, then target 3 of your banished Light Machine Union monsters with different names, and you special summon them. This is why, for example, Monster Reborn and the standby effect from Baron to Floors, it's actually quite useful, where you can basically center back into the field, Baron that is, center back into the extra deck, sorry, and then you can basically get your A.B.C. Dragonmaid back into the field again, or with Monster Reborn. Let's be real. Now for the choices that we have for the synchro monsters, for the synchro lineup that we have, we're playing 1 Desert Locust, which is a level 6 tuner synchro. What it does, if this card is synchro summoned, the turn player discards 1 card. And then, once per chain, during your opponent's main phase, you can quick effect. Immediately after this effect resolves, synchro summon using this card you control. Basically this, and the card that I'm about to show you next, which is Shooting Riser Dragon, is one of the cards that you will most likely use with if you had Crystal Hockey Firebrax into your opponent's turn. If you did not use him to link life even further, and let's say your Crystal Hockey Firebrax got negated with either Ash, Infinite Permanence, Effective Layer, you get the gist. If you got negated under your opponent's turn, you would activate the second effect of Crystal Hockey Firebrax, which you would be able to banish him, and you could either choose to special summon either your Desert Locust to burn 1 card of your opponent, and then synchro summon again to go into something else, ideally Baron or Zheng Ying. Or you could go into your Shooting Riser Dragon to, when you synchro summon him, you would immediately have to use his effect, and you could be able to dump a card from your deck into your graveyard. But basically, you could dump either one of the ABC pieces that could be missing, you could dump Fairy Tale Snow, or you could dump even Water Enchantress for your follow-up plays if you didn't open with the Adventure Engine. For the Shooting Riser Dragon now, what he does, if this card is synchro summoned, you can send 1 monster from your deck into your graveyard whose level is lower than this card's on the field, and if you do, reduce this card's level by that monster's, but for the rest of this turn, you cannot activate the effects of monsters with the same name the sent monster had in the graveyard. You can only use this effect once per turn, once per chain, during your opponent's main phase, you can quick effect, immediately after this effect resolves, synchro summon using this card you control. Basically, with this and with Desert Locust, you would not only use their effects to gain advantage for you, or basically have your opponent discard a card with Desert Locust, and then use the cards that you chose to do special summon off of the effect of Crystal Hockey Firebrax on your opponent's turn to go more into your synchro plays. And then we play 1 Baron de Flor and 1 Sorcerer Supreme Zheng Ying. What Baron does, in case you do not know, once per turn, target a card of the field, destroy it. Once while face up on the field, when a card or effect is activated, quick effect, you can negate the activation. If you do, you destroy it. And once per turn during the standby phase, you can target a level 9 or lower monster in your graveyard, you return Baron to the extra deck, and if you do, you special summon that monster. As I've said previously, one of the ways in which you can get your A.B.C. Dragonmaid back into the field. And then lastly, for the last synchro that we have into the extra deck, which is Zheng Ying, what he does for each banished card, this card gains 100 attack and defense, and most of your opponent controls, they lose 100 attack and defense. If this card will be destroyed by card effect, you can banish this card. You can banish 1 card from your graveyard instead. This is not once per turn, so depending on your graveyard size, you can basically live forever with Zheng Ying. If a card is banished, except during the damage step, you can banish 1 card each from both of your opponent's fields and graveyard, which is quite incredible. This is once per turn, obviously, which is, let's be real, quite powerful. You can basically proc this with either your Fairy Tale Snow or with getting your A.B.C. Dragonmaid into the field, because it requires for you to banish 1 of each of the 3 pieces to get him into the field. Now, for the XCs, we have one number 41 Baguska, the terrible tired tapir. He requires 2 level 4s. Once per turn, during your standby, detach 1 material from this card. If cannot, destroy it. This attack position card cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effect. Your opponent cannot target this attack position card with effects. While this card is in face-up defense position, change all face-up monsters on the field to defense position. Also, you negate the activated effects of monsters that were in defense position when that effect was activated. Basically, in situations where you get bricked, you get max seed, you get droll and locked birds, or whatever the fuck, you would go into your Baguska in face-up defense position, and then for 2 turns, your opponent, and you as well, won't be able to activate monster effects. This will basically buy you some time, even though if your opponent knows that they can basically, if they have a lot of special summons into their deck, they can link climb to go into their unicorn, and even if their unicorn gets negated with an infinite permanence or whatever you might have, they can still basically go in battle phase and destroy it. But if they don't know that, you basically bought yourself 2 turns. And then the Cyber Dragon packets that we have into the extra deck, the reason that we play the 2 Galaxy Soldier and the 1 Photon Orbital, as I've said earlier, which is 1 Cyber Dragon Nova with the 1 Cyber Dragon Infinity. Basically, you have Nova, and then you would use a Nova's effect, not Nova's effect, but basically you would be able to overlay your Cyber Dragon Infinity on top of Nova. And what Infinity does is, once per turn, you can also access summon 1 Cyber Dragon Infinity by using Cyber Dragon Nova you control as material, and then he gains 200 attack for each material attached to it. Once per turn, you can target 1 face-up attack position monster on the field, attach it to this card as material, basically as a relinquished effect, but only for attack position monsters. Once per turn, when a card on effect is activated, quick effect, you can attach 1 material from this card, negate the activation, and if you do, you destroy it. Quite incredible. And non-negate can also attach monsters over your opponent's field. Quite incredible. The Nova effect that I need to remind you guys, in case you're not aware, is if this card is in your possession, is sent to your graveyard by your opponent's card effect, you can special summon 1 machine fusion monster from your extra deck. Basically, the reason that I'm mentioning this is if this for whatever reason gets in the B root when you go into your Nova, it gets destroyed by the quick effect or whatever else, you could potentially add a target for it if it gets destroyed for you to special summon from the extra deck, and one of them is actually Invoked Mekaba, which is basically a free omen negate as long as you can discard the card that is activated, the corresponding card, so you can basically negate this. If you have free space in your extra deck, if you see something that I have that you do not like, you don't want to play with, if you have Mekaba, you could add this instead, and you most likely will be fine most of the times. And let's be real, most of the times you would actually banish this off of your Pot of Prosperity, but it could come up sometimes, and that's why I'm mentioning it. Also, another Xyz option that you could have into your extra deck is Dagusto Emerald, which requires 2 force, and what it does, once per turn, you can detach 1 material from this card, then activate 1 of these effects, which is the first effect which is relevant for this, which is target 3 monsters in your graveyard, shovel all 3 into the deck, then you draw 1 card. Basically, this is one of the ways in which you would target your A.B.C. Dragon Buster and 1 of the or 2 of the materials that you had into the graveyard, and you would basically get them back into the deck, recure him so you can go into him again if you actually want to do that, if you're needing that. And now let's go into the links that we have into the deck, which are quite standard, let's be real. We have 1 Crystal Haki Firebrax. Most of you know what he does, and as I've said, his second effect is quite important, which is during your opponent's main phase or battle phase, quick effect, you can banish this card you control, special summon 1 tuner synchro monster from your extra deck. Basically, as I've said, one of the ways and one of the reasons that we have Desert Locust into the deck and Shooting Razor Dragon, in case the first effect of Crystal Haki Firebrax to special summon a level 1 or 3, or level 3 or lower, tuner from your deck or hand gets negated, you at least have his second effect to go more into your place on your opponent's turn. Then 1 IP Masquerena, then the 1 of Union of Carrier, which, as I've said, we use this to basically get the Photon Orbital from either our hand or deck equipped into it, and then you would activate the Photon Orbital's effect, send to the graveyard to search your Galaxy Soldier, or you could even attach or use his effect to equip him with 1 of the missing A.B.C. materials that you might be missing, obviously, to go more into your place, so you could ideally end on your A.B.C. Dragon Buster, in case you need that. And then 1 Nightmare Unicorn with the 1 Abelusa above the Goddess, one access code talker, and finally the Underworld Goddess of the Closed World, in case you're playing against adding Nestor, for example, because they know that they have the 5 to 6k boss monster, and this is one of the ways that you can basically out this, because it's unaffected by everything, and Underworld Goddess of the Closed World, is basically a Link Kaiju, which is quite incredible, let's be real. And now that we're done with the deck profile, guys, let's go and show you a quick combo tutorial before we go into the replays. Let's go. The first hand, as you can see, for this combo tutorial, guys, we actually have full combo, so let's start and show you what we're going to do. First, we're going to activate Water Enchantress, check for the hand traps, always. This is usually the Ash Bait. We're going to get the Rite of Aramagir. We're going to activate Rite of Aramagir to get the token. We're going to chain the Wandering Griffon Rider, get him into the field. The chain will resolve. Wandering Griffon Rider is on the field. Then we're going to get the token. Now we have the Omni Gate into the field. We're going to get the Fateful Adventure in the field as well. Activate its effect to get the Water Enchantress into the hand. Discard it. Then what we're going to do, activate Pot of Prosperity. Even though we have Unit Hanger, we're actually going to use this in case we get into one of our missing ABC pieces. I'm going to banish 3 for this reason. I'm going to banish the one Desert Locust with the one Baguska, then the one, I guess in this situation, Appaloosa, or even Underworld Goddess, let's say. Going to reveal Ash, unauthorized activation, and then the one called by the grave. In this situation, if they had Maxi, they would already have used it, but I guess we could get the Ash Blossom for interruption if we need that. Then I'm going to activate the Unit Hanger, and this is where our combos start. I'm going to turn this off. I'm going to add one Beebuster Drake. I'm going to normal summon the Beebuster Drake. We're going to activate Chainlink 1 Unit Hanger, and then let's chain block with Fateful Adventure Chainlink 2. Even though this is not as necessary, this can still help. I'm going to equip the Drago back into the token. You know how this goes. And then we're going to equip, the Unit Driver into our Beebuster Drake. I'm going to activate the Unit Driver's effect to banish him. I'm going to special summon the Assault Core, or not special summon, equip the Assault Core into the Beebuster Drake, and then activate the Assault Core's effect to special summon it into the field. And now, what we're going to do is, we're going to go into our Union Carrier, using the A Assault Core and the Beebuster Drake, but before we do that, what we can also do is activate unauthorized reactivation, and basically attach the Seagrass Wyvern that we have into the deck into one of our pieces, so we can send all 3 into the graveyard. Then what we're going to do is go into the Union Carrier. Union Carrier hits the field. Even though we don't have a target for Seagrass Wyvern, that's not as relevant, we don't really care. We're going to activate Beebuster Drake first, Chainlink 1, A Assault Core, Chainlink 2. Then the chain will resolve. A Assault Core will get us the Seagrass Wyvern back into our hand. And then Beebuster Drake will search us the other Beebuster Drake. And then what we're going to do is we're going to activate the Union Carrier's effect. We're going to attach it with, as I've said in the deck profile, with a Photon Orbital. We're going to activate the Photon Orbital's effect. We're going to send it to the graveyard to search us one of the 2 Galaxy Soldiers we have into the deck. And then we're going to activate his effect to discard the Seagrass Wyvern that we have into the hand, to get him into the field, activate his effect to search the other Galaxy Soldier, and we'll do the same thing that we did. Discard the Beebuster Drake this time. And now we're going to go into our Cyber Dragon Nova. And before we finish, we're going to go into the Cyber Dragon Infinity, overlaying on top of the Nova. And finally, obviously, you guys know, we're going to finish with the A.B.C. Dragon Buster. And we're finishing with a board that has a target to banish, but we need to discard the card in order for that to happen, obviously. Then we have an Omni Gate with Cyber Dragon Infinity, and another Omni Gate with a Wandering Griffon Rider, because we have the Adventure token into the field. So that was basically one of the most, quite frankly, the strongest combo that you can have, and the best board that you could potentially have with playing with this deck. Even if your opponent, let's say, has an interruption or 2, you can still play through. But as you guys saw, since we're playing with an intermediate bot, if your opponent doesn't have any hand traps, this is the basic and the most standard board that you could make every single time. Now that we're done with the combo tutorial, let's show you guys the replays. For the first replay, we're playing second against Phantom Knights, and he's going to actually set 4 and pass. He probably bricked, let's be real, obviously bricked. We're going to draw our second unit hanger. We're going to activate Terraforming to bait a hand trap if he has one, getting the third unit hanger into their hand, activating it to search the Seagrass Wyvern. We're going to normal summon the Beebuster Drake, equipping it with Unit Driver, banishing Unit Driver with activating his effect to get the Talk-to gear, activate Talk-to gear to get into the field, and for us to go into our Crystal Hulky Fibrax. Going to chain link 1 Crystal Hulky Fibrax, chain link 2 Beebuster Drake. He's going to chain Cold by the Grave, targeting our Beebuster Drake. Unfortunately, he's also going to use his Forbidden Droplet on our Crystal Hulky Fibrax. The chain will resolve, unfortunately for us. We're going to activate Fateful Adventure to get the Water Enchantress, discard her for cost, banish her to get the Rite of Aramazir from the deck into the hand, activate the Aramazir to get the token, and we're going to obviously get the Draco back as well, bounce one of his back row, deal some damage, and going to end our turn. Then he's going to normal summon his Ancient Cloak. We're going to immediately activate Hulky Fibrax second effect to go into our Shooting Rise the Dragon, activate his effect, and he's going to chain Fogblade to negate. Again, unfortunately for us, but he has nothing else. The chain will resolve. He's going to link summon his Almirage, and he wants to activate his Ancient Cloak from the graveyard. He's going to banish the Search. We're going to immediately ash that to stamp him. The chain will resolve. He's going to set again 1 and pass. And then we drew the A Assault Core. We're going to normal summon it, activate Unit Hanger, getting the Beebuster Drake from the deck equipped to him. I was about to use the Drago back to bounce one of his back row, and he just scoops because he didn't have anything else. Let's show you guys the second replay. The second replay, we're playing first, sorry. We're going to activate the Water Enchantress first, check with the hand traps, he has no ash. We're going to activate Rite of Aramazir, get the token, then get the Fateful Adventure to the field, search the Griffin Rider, discard the Cold by the Grave as cost, special summon the Rider into the field for the Omni Gate, get the Draco back, activate the Unit Hanger to search the Beebuster Drake, then activate the Unit Hanger targeting the Beebuster Drake, which is a standard combo that we have for A.B.Cs, which is your Unit Hanger basically. It's a 1 card full combo. Then I'm going to attach Beebuster Drake with the effect of Unit Hanger to get the Unit Driver, as I've said. Banish the Unit Driver with his effect to get him the A Assault Core instead. Special summon into the field with its effect. Go into the Unit Hanger immediately. A Assault Core chain link 1, Beebuster Drake chain link 2. The chain will resolve. Beebuster Drake will search us the Seagrass Wyvern, and A Assault Core will get us the Beebuster Drake back into our hand. Unit Hanger will activate to attach Photon Orbital from a hand into it, and then use the Orbital effect to send it to the graveyard to search the Galaxy Soldier. Galaxy Soldier again, discard 1 card, 1 light monster to special summon to the field, and when he's special summoned, he searches the other one. Discard the other piece, you know how it goes, special summon the other one, go into our Nova, then we're going to go into our Infinity, and lastly, we're going to banish the 3 pieces to go into our A.B.C. Dragon Buster as well. We have a board with 3 interruptions, which is quite incredible. Let's be real. Our opponent is going to Harpy Feather Duster. We're not going to negate, and as you guys will see, the Dracoback obviously will get attached again, and he will just scoop, because he was actually playing Numerons. And as you could have guessed, he probably didn't have any board breakers, he did not have any Kaijus. He basically just tried to bait the 1 negate, he did not get it, and he was basically fucked for this. So that's how it goes sometimes. Let's show you guys the third and the final replay. For the third and final replay, we're playing first again, but we actually bricked. So we're going to set Beebuster Drake and pass. We're playing against Earth Machines, and as you will be able to see, he's going to activate his heavy forward to search. We're going to instantly ash that. The chain will resolve. He's going to discard his Machina Citadel to special summon his fortress. He's going to attack the Beebuster Drake. He's going to activate his effect because he was sent to the graveyard. We're going to search the Seagrass Wyvern. And let's see what we draw. We drew the Water Enchantress. I'm going to activate the Water Enchantress to banish her to get the Rite of Aramazir. He's going to instantly ask us on that, which was honestly quite big mistake from him, because she could have drawn 1 at least. He's going to chain Lancia as well, which is quite irrelevant, because as you guys will see, we will get the Rite of Aramazir, but we're actually going to set the Seagrass Wyvern and pass. There's no reason for me to go into the to the Adventure Engine, because I don't want to give him any cards, basically, because I know that he bricked. His turn was going to come, he drew his Harvester, activate his effect to search the Brutal Dozer, activate the Harvester to change both of their levels to 9, and he will go into his true King of All Calamities. Note, and I know, this replay was made few days before the ban list, so that's why you still see True King of All Calamities, which he is long gone by now with the current ban list, but forgive me that. So let's see how it goes. He's going to attack the Seeker's Wyvern, going to activate the effect to special summon the Assault Core from hand, and he's going to end his phase. But unfortunately for him, we're going to draw the Bezel Roll Suit, which is a brick. We're going to activate the Rite of Fire Mazir, he's going to chain, which is relevant, get the token, get the Fateful Adventure, search a rider. We're going to discard the Bezel Roll Suit because we don't need it as a brick. It's obviously a brick. I'm going to discard this, get the Griffin Rider into the field, get the Drago back, bounce his Calamities back into the extra deck, set the Unauthorized Reactivation, and we're going to pass. Our opponent's going to draw. He's going to Cold by the Grave the V-Buster Drake. He's going to discard his Super Express Bullet Train to special summon his Fortress again, and he's going to attack on our Assault Core. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to activate an Unauthorized Reactivation to basically get the V-Buster Drake from my deck into the field, and that's why I can actually go into the A.B.C. Buster Dragon. And what you will also see, another interesting interaction is, because he attacked and I have a monster that is equipped with a card, it is not going to get destroyed, because that is the protection that Fateful Adventure gives you. Once per turn, the first time a monster you control equipped with a equipped spell would be destroyed by battle, it is not destroyed, which is honestly quite incredible. Another decent protection that we have into our monsters if we need them, and in this case we actually did. End phase, his Bullet Train will activate to get the Harvester back into his hand, which is quite irrelevant. At this point we have won. We drew our Union Hanger, and at this point this game is done. Activate Hanger to get the Buster Drake, bounce his Machina Fortress into his hand, and then I'm going to normal summon the Buster Drake. The Union Hanger will basically give him the Union Driver, banish him, get the Torque Tune, then use the other two to go into the Union Carrier. A Assault Core Chainlink 1, B-Buster Drake Chainlink 2. The chain will resolve. Obviously, B-Buster Drake will not activate because it got called by the grave a turn earlier, unfortunately for us, but we chain blocked. Going to get the B-Buster Drake from the Assault Core. Union Carrier will attach the Photon Orbital that we have from hand, send it to get the Galaxy Soldier. Going to use this effect to discard the B-Buster Drake, get the Galaxy Soldier into the field. We're going to search the other one, even though we don't need him. We're going to use the fourth one, and we're going to basically use the Galaxy Soldier, the Token Gear, which is 1, and the 4, that is the Adventure Token, to go into the Baron, and then banish the 3 pieces to go into our A.B.C. Dragon Buster, and the opponent scoops. So that was basically it for the deck profile, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed it, and again, as I've said earlier in the start of this video, hopefully, and if you enjoy content like this, make sure to give a like, a subscribe. You don't know how much this helps me, and either way, thank you guys very much for watching, and I'll be seeing you on the next one.